I am the Kodiak, and today's video is going to be about Alabama running back Najee Harris, who is officially Kodiak's RB1 in this upcoming draft class. As long as he gets good capital, will likely be the first overall pick in one quarterback dynasty leagues, and will likely be a late day one to probably mid to late day two pick in the real NFL. And yeah, let's get right into it. So coming out of high school, Najee Harris was the highest regarded player in the 2017 class. According to Rivals, he was the first ranked player in the class, ahead of guys who are going to get drafted or ahead of guys who already have been drafted in the NFL, such as Cam Akers, Walker Little, Chase Young, Donovan Peoples-Jones, A.J. Terrell, T. Higgins, Jerry Jeudy, Jedrick Wills, A.J. Epinesa, DeAndre Swift, Xavier McKinney, Cesar Ruiz, Devontae Smith, Tua Tagovailoa, J.K. Dobbins, Grant Delpit, CeeDee Lamb, Willie Gay, Jonathan Taylor, and a bunch of other guys who have already showed out in the NFL. Out of that amazing 2017 high school graduating class, Najee Harris was regarded as the best player in the country. So when Najee Harris came into Alabama, granted he was the #1 overall recruit in the class, and he ended up committing to Alabama when he was a sophomore. There were still a bunch of other guys ahead of him, such as Bo Scarborough, Damian Williams, and Josh Jacobs. I feel like something that can get lost or forgotten about in a lot of these cases is that when a guy comes into a team, he's still the low man on the totem pole. So his freshman year behind Scarborough, Jacobs, and Harris, who keep in mind Jacobs was a first-round pick in 2019, to the Raiders, and Damian Harris got selected late by New England, and I can't even remember how little the Lions invested in Scarborough. So his freshman year, Najee recorded 61 carries. In his sophomore year, he recorded 117 carries. My mistake. I just looked this up, and Scarborough was drafted in the 7th round by the Cowboys in 2018. So Scarborough going to the NFL in 2018, and Harris and Jacobs leaving to go to the Raiders and Patriots in 2019, Najee Harris became the starting running back at Alabama, recorded 209 carries for 1,224 yards, 5.9 yards per carry. And the thing we like to see, evaluating these running backs is their work in the receiving game. So he caught 27 passes for 304 yards for 11.3 yards per carry and 7 touchdowns. Now, the thing a lot of people were wondering is if you're a running back and you know your stock is already pretty high, why in the world would you stay another year? For me, I have absolutely no idea. There were just some guys who love the culture, love the grind of college football, or there are some guys who just really, really think they need that piece of paper that says they're not a total dumbass, even though I'm pretty sure they have to do literally zero work to get said piece of paper. Or it could be that last year's draft class was really strong. You'd think we had Clyde Edwards-Helaire drafted in the first round, DeAndre Swift, Jonathan Taylor, J.K. Dobbins, Cam Akers, Zach Moss, and A.J. Dillon. Shortly thereafter, even Antonio Gibson. This running back class was an early declare from Etienne or an early declare from Harris, away from literally having Javonte Williams as the only relevant running back. So in 2019, he commanded 36 targets, which, like I said, is what we'd love to see. He came back for his senior year in 2020, which I'm not sure how good that looks now, considering the whole pandemic and all. But he was even better this year. So he recorded 251 carries, 1,466 yards, 30 total touchdowns, 43 receptions on 57 targets. So we've talked about the concrete stats, like rushing yards, receptions, and touchdowns and all that. But what about it makes him so good? When you watch him play, what makes him the RB1 of this year's draft class? For me, it's his elusiveness combined with his ability to process the defense as well as trick them, and his overall vision. And I know it's easy to say that he was running behind the Alabama O-line, and that just makes everything 100 times easier. Here's one clip that illustrates my point about how difficult it is to play against this guy. So in this clip, he literally tricks everybody on the field as to where he's going. He sees the hole develop to his right, and he shoots the gap like he's been shot out of a cannon. Now, he doesn't have the long speed of a Derrick Henry, who he's most often compared to, and I think that comparison doesn't make a lot of sense, considering Harris is 1,000 times better than Henry in the receiving game. And not only that, but they kind of break tackles in a different way. Harris is more elusive, whereas Henry is the guy who just throws you to the ground with a stiff arm. And I think they're also compared to each other because they both played at Alabama. They both play running back and have dreadlocks. I think he plays a lot more like Arian Foster, who had literally the exact same identical build to what Najee Harris has. So Arian Foster was listed at 6'1", 227, and Najee Harris is listed at 6'2", 230. So throughout Arian Foster's career, he had 8 receptions, which was his rookie year. Then he went on to have 66, 53, 40, 22, 38, 22. I could very easily see Najee Harris, especially if he goes to a team that's shallow with running back depth, commanding those kind of reception numbers right off the bat. So as far as where I think Najee Harris will be valued in the real NFL, I don't know, because he's going to be a 23-year-old running back, and although he is very good, very solid, the guys like Clyde Edwards-Helaire and Jonathan Taylor and DeAndre Swift last year, who were taken early, were like 21 or are just now turning 22. Najee Harris' birthday is March 9th, so in 5 days. Shout out to him. We share a birthday. And I don't know how wise of an investment that a 23-year-old running back would be in the first. Me personally, I think he's going in the early second to the Atlanta Falcons. I just think it makes too much sense because that running back depth chart is just so shallow that they have literally nobody there unless they want to re-sign the slug or shell of Todd Gurley. And I know they have Quadri Allison and Brian Hill and all that, but those guys haven't really shown much throughout their career. Harris coming into Atlanta would instantly be the day one starter. He would instantly be the 3-down back. And I think everything about Najee Harris screams 3-down back in the NFL. As far as he's better than Breece Hall, I'm not sure. I have to research a little more on Breece Hall. But Najee Harris will likely be the best running back from the 21 and 22 draft classes. And I know everybody sucks at evaluating prospects and players, but yeah, I think everything about Najee screams 3-down running back. And why I think he's going to the Falcons is because I don't think the Falcons are going to get the offers they want for Matt Ryan or Julio Jones, so I think they could be put in a position where they're actually forced to try to compete one last time. I know the GM from the Saints just came in, and I know he wants a new regime with all his guys and all that. Well, Arthur Smith is their head coach, and he was the orchestrator of an offense that featured Ryan Tannehill, Derrick Henry, and A.J. Brown. I could see him trying to do something similar with Matt Ryan, Najee Harris, and Calvin Ridley, and Julio Jones. He's more shifty than a bulldozer, but he's going to come in day one next year, and he's going to instantly be a workhorse running back. Finished 5th in Heisman voting, and likely would have been higher if not for his teammate having probably the best wide receiver season we've seen this generation from a college player. But yeah, that is going to do it for the video. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Let me know your thoughts on Najee Harris in the comment section down below. Anyways, guys, have a good day, and peace out.